we're here. Hello, and welcome to Threeflings, the only show on Twitch with 3 overpowered tieflings. I'm your host, not Jess, and we got a special episode for you all tonight. Jess is taking a well-deserved break, and I will be the DM today. Threeflings, for those who don't know, began as a collection of one-shot adventures from the UNCAGED Anthology, and now we're playing one-shots from Uncaged Goddesses. If this is your first episode or your 90th, welcome. We have very little continuity, so you're all caught up. Tonight, we are playing Vengeance Reborn by Jesse Heinig from Uncaged Goddesses. Tonight's adventure does have some content warnings, including chronic pain, undeath, and animal death. So if those are triggers for you, feel free to duck out, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Without further ado, let's meet our toofs, starting with Vittori.
Hello, Draz. I played Vittori. She is a resident Gloomstalker ranger who likes to do the shooty shoot with a crossbow, and she is accompanied by her pet direwolf puppy, Toast.
And Shy, tell us about your teeth.
Hi, I'm Shy, and I will be playing our resident knowledge cleric who knows everything about everything, and throws the book at her enemies, including her little bookworm companion, Mystorious.
And that's it. That's all the teefs we have tonight. But Threeflings, historically, has 3 teefs. So we did briefly have 3 teefs together. However, Shy and Vittori got word of a missing persons case. Idara went, fuck that, and left. She's off to do her own thing. She's probably gonna go do some tavern crawls across the land. Yeah, just, you know, start scoping out the competition a little bit, because we recently came into like a shit ton of money and yet another building. So she's like, all right, we gotta start planning more seriously. What are we doing? Vittori and Shy, you make your way to the town with the missing person, and when you arrive, they're already found. What the hell? What are you even here for?
Damn.
That is a little annoying.
And
well, you know, I'm glad it was that simple, even if
I mean,
you know,
were they
it
safe?
was annoying to.
Were they safe at least, or they weren't found dead, were they?
yes, it did turn out to be the case that she was sneaking off into the woods to meet her lover, who's also a lady.
Yep.
And her family just wouldn't have approved, because not only is her lover a lady, she's also a harpy. And they just
we've seen this story before.
Yeah. Her family wouldn't understand, you know. Anyway, that resolved, you have the afternoon to yourselves in this town. I'm gonna guess that you perhaps go to the tavern to set up meals and some sort of lodging and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I assume the town doesn't have anything of interest.
It's a pretty normal town. They do notably have, it's pretty sizable, so they have, like, a fairly robust shopping center. There's a couple different temples to a couple different deities. There's a lot of elves and half-elves here, actually. So a lot of the Seldarin pantheon is here. Should have looked that pronunciation up before I started the stream. Seldarin? Seldarin. Twitch chat will tell me.
Pick your favorite pronunciation.
Pick your favorite.
I might stop into some of the temples, see if there's anyone she knows.
Sure. Are there any temples in particular you think Shy would be looking for? I don't know what her stance on the Elven Pantheon is.
Well, remember when we were talking about like how Shy's order is kind of like perceived by other people? Other like orders in particular, in the fact that they're respected but not always liked because they stick their nose in where it's not wanted, usually. So if somebody has like secrets or things that they're not proud of or want to hide or put in a better light that's not exactly the truth, then they won't want to see her. But everyone else would be okay.
All right. I have a question for you then. How much of a stereotyper do you think Shy is? Because I've got some suggestions based on which temples I think might have some secrets.
Ooh.
Actually,
well, we know Shy's... Ooh.
How about you make me an insight check or a religion check to just kind of suss out for this pantheon which temples might have the most interesting gossip going on.
Oh, this ought to be good. Let's go with religion, and that's a 30.
All right. So you know everything, literally.
You
And
know all the secrets.
yeah, you happen to know an awful lot about the Elven Pantheon because again, you know literally everything. The elves that kind of, or the elven gods that sort of generally you would think as the most potentially interesting with regard to like hot goss that their temples might have include the Erevan Illiser, the god of trickery, mischief, and rogues. Hanali Selenil, the goddess of romantic love, beauty, joy. Let's see. The Sehanine Moonbow, goddess of the moon, dreams, mysteries, secrets, travel journeys. And the lesser god, Meliora Tallerin. Sorry for people who are into elves. I'm definitely not just reading the wiki. She's the goddess of bards and minstrels. However, with a 30, like you already kind of knew that these ones would be the most likely to be interesting. But with a 30, even though it's religion and not insight, I'm going to say you happen to overhear that there's currently something going on with one of the priests, specifically at the temple to Hanali Selenil.
Then that's where I'm going. Hanali is the
goddess of romantic
and
love.
romance?
Yeah, romantic love, beauty, joy, and Celadrons.
Oh, that sounds like some really, really good shit. So I'm curious as a cat. I want in on that. I want to rub my face in all of the scandal.
Excellent. Do you drag Vittori with you, or are you doing a solo fact-finding mission?
I'll let Vittori know where I'm going, and let her decide whether or not she's coming with.
Vittori?
Yeah, I think Victoria, like, this whole time has just been, like, trying, scoping out the town and seeing if there's anything interesting. And she's kind of bored because, she's not over, like, I guess she has some religious knowledge now. She has the acolyte background, but, like, largely she's not a very religious person. So, like, those being the only interesting point, like, she was just like, oh yeah, let Shai do her thing.
Yeah.
So I think, Shai finds Victoria in, like, the inn and is like, hey, wanna come find secrets with me? And like Vittori is just like, yeah, because I'm so bored.
Yeah, that's
of
fair.
Of course I'll come find some hot goss.
Yeah, most of the, just kind of hanging out around town stuff that you find is very focused on the missing person who's recently returned home, talking about, some upstart young adventurers found her off in the woods, but it turns out that she went there on purpose. And you're like, okay, this is boring. I'm bored.
It's like, I've heard this story so many times before.
Yeah,
and
we've
they're
been
done
there.
that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah, watch episodes 1 through 80 of Threeflings if you want to know more. So yeah, when Shai presents to you the opportunity to go to an elven god's temple because they got something going on, and she's the goddess of love, beauty, and romance stuff, so you know it's gonna be juicy. You got nothing better to do. Might as well.
Scandalous.
Yeah.
Could be scandalous. So the two of you make your way over to the temple of Hanali Selenil, which I will put in chat for you because I'm a responsible DM who does things like that. Because I care about everyone's ability to remember a name, and I can only remember a name if I see it spelled. So I assume everybody works the same way. But you make your way to the temple of Hanali Selenil. Her temple is very large, grand, like beautiful, ornate, pillars, a very classic looking temple. You know, the elven pantheons, definitely their temples tend to lean more in the direction of like classical architecture. They got a shit ton of sculptures. You know, when your mind goes to temple and you think of like classic old school temples, that's what you're looking at. And it's huge. There are people coming in and out. You see a lot of couples arm in arm coming in and out of the temple as they are presumably going to like make offerings, perhaps to, you know, to celebrate a new engagement or a new couple starting to see each other for the first time. Shy, you would know that the temple does an awful lot of compatibility tests for people who are coming in and want to know if it's going to work out long term.
Imagine those like really like low quality like GeoCities era like love compatibility webs.
Yes, 100%.
Those like percentage.
Should I like quickly rushes back someone that's reading rushes past someone who's reading her book?
Yes. 100%. What is Shy's pen name again?
Oh, I'm going to have to look it up. I believe it's it's something pen. I believe it's like
these dead pens.
Book pen Nick Bookerson. Standard human name.
Not Shy.
I have the document somewhere.
All right,
I did not realize I would have to bring that up.
I'm sorry, it's fine.
Embla pen.
Oh, Jess is ready. Embla pen.
Yeah,
thank you, Jess. As you can see, Jess is hard at work enjoying her vacation time.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you see that there a couple people have different books that you've published. One of them you even recognize as like one of those fancy limited edition pre-order box set kind of things. Like Embla pen is a big deal here. They can't get enough.
This was the best idea.
Because the adventure where like it was revealed that that Shy has a pen name and has been writing books was an adventure that Vittori was not in, and Adara was like, I am not telling.
Yeah.
Vittori this or something like that. So Vittori is oblivious to all of this. She just thinks, oh yeah, they're just reading a book.
And Shy's just like, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it.
So Shy, doing your best to just sort of like head down, walk in, not make eye contact. You don't pick up on as many things that are going on all at once. Vittori, you do, because you're looking around, because you don't know to not make eye contact with any of these people. You definitely pick up on some of the compatibility readings that are very like, well, your love language color is purple and yours is orange. So there's some energies here that we're gonna need to work out. And you're just like, oh, okay. But
and elsewhere there's like your overall compatibility is 69%. Nice.
Nice. So
not overall nice, but nice.
So do you two want to do anything in particular, or are you just going to try and do like a perimeter around the area and see what you can pick up? Or are you going to try to like listen in for fun gossip or try and find somebody in charge of things? Uh-oh.
I want to try and listen in.
Jess joined the call and broke our layout. Get out of here.
Oh no!
Alright, it's fine. Anyway.
Yeah. I think Vittori would try and act as much as she can as just like a casual, you know, person that goes to temples, even if she doesn't. Just so she doesn't come off as looking suspicious, because that would, you know, draw unnecessary attention.
Alright, so, I'm gonna say make me a perception check, or investigation check with disadvantage, because you're like looking around but trying to be cool about it, so you're not trying as hard as you could be.
Okay. Disadvantage. That would be, because I have a plus 12 to investigation, so even on disadvantage where I got a 4, I would get an 16.
Nice. Alright, so with the 16, you managed to still pick up that two acolytes who don't actively have any like attending temple people, petitioners, the word for worshippers, for Hanali. Yeah, those people, parishioners or whatever. They're just, you know, killing time until someone shows up, essentially. So you overhear them talking, and they say, you pick up that, oh, Tanith still hasn't found anyone. I'm starting to get worried. The timeline on that is really sensitive, isn't it? Yeah, that's really soon. I mean, hopefully they find, do they have a backup plan? I don't know. And that's kind of what you pick up as you're, like, doing a loop.
It's just, I thought, what if this person just errored? I hope this isn't like people being weird. And like this person actually wants a partner or something.
With the 16, you do get from context that it seems less like a relationship management conversation and more like a gossiping about a coworker conversation.
Which is like, that's alright gossip, but like there's nothing juicy there.
No.
That's disappointing.
Shy, are you doing anything in particular?
I would like to nose around a bit.
Yeah.
I'd kind of want to find an acolyte. Not like someone high up, but someone who looks nervous and wanting to talk to someone.
Oh, yeah.
And,
easy.
And see if I can, yeah.
Yeah, easy to find acolytes who are ready to talk to people. You definitely get the sense that, like, the kind of fortune-telling aspect of the services that they offer here at this temple are extremely, like, low-level acolytes do this. This is intern-level work.
Oh, I want to see what the fortunes tell about Shy with the whole, love and romance aspect. Bring it on.
Yes, alright. Yeah, so you can easily...
Vittori sees that... Vittori sees that, like, Shy is gonna do one of those things, and she just, like, slowly just moves over because she's kind of curious if, like, since this is acolyte level shit, if, like...
I want to see if this is all
like,
bullshit.
Yeah, I want to know if there's any, like, fact behind this, or if they're just, like, saying whatever they want, and it's just, like, it doesn't matter in the long term for them anyway. It's just, like, in the background, just spending hands.
Yeah. So you find an acolyte who is kind of active. They're like picking at nail polish on their nails. And as you approach, they look up and they just go, "Oh, hi, hi. Are you here for your fortune?"
Well, while I'm here, might as well, right?
That's wonderful. You might even say it's lovely. We have many fortune options available to people. Would you be interested in a compatibility reading or a star chart reading, or I can read your aura? It helps more if you have a specific person that you can think of while we are doing the reading. If you would like a different service, I can ask my manager. But those are the ones I can do.
A specific person. Does it have to be one person?
No, not at all. If you were thinking of several people, that is the Temple of Hanali Selenil embraces all kinds of love, including polyamorous love.
What if it's not love per se?
How much not love? Because that is sort of what we specialize in. We could do sexual compatibility as distinct from love, but that is really more what we focus on here. If you would like a different kind of reading, I might be able to refer you to a different temple.
What kinds of love?
We specialize in romantic love. However, we are also able to, platonic love is a broad category of thing. We can do familial love compatibility, but I recommend against that one because it can be awkward, because they are still your family after the reading, and you might not want that information in your head. We can also do friendship platonic love compatibility. But again, we do specialize in romantic love.
Well, let's try and see what kind of love, let's just do a reading and find out.
Wonderful.
Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out.
So, Shy, are you going to try and be, intentional? Are you going to, like, go along with this willingly? Are you going to try and, like, put on a character for this? Are you just gonna see what happens?
Oh, just, you know, Chai isn't into lying in any shape or form.
Right.
She just kind of wants to see if this is bullshit or not. So it's like, if she, let's say, thinks of her book club, it's like, there's not going to be sexual love, there isn't going to be romantic love, but she wants to see what they pick up.
Got it. All right, so yeah, you are a cleric, so you are very familiar with the motions that this acolyte goes through as they begin to cast augury on you to try and tell what they can about you.
I'm going to confuse this one so much.
Yeah. They specifically lay out crystals. You see that it's a lot of different colored quartzes, mostly. And they lay them out and, you know, kind of warm their hands over them and then begin casting a spell that is very familiar to you in terms of it being a cleric spell, but the nuances are different. It's clear that they're talking to a different deity from the one that you're used to. And
you just grab the phone.
Yeah, and they kind of review the crystals after a while. They do a little like tossy toss and see where they land and look at all that, and they go, well, it doesn't seem that you have much romantic love in your future. That is okay though. There's more than one kind of love in the world, and they all bring wholeness to a person. Romantic love is not required for a fulfilling life. Still, if this is news that troubles you, you have my condolences and well wishes, and we would be happy to advise you so that you'd be able to make the best out of the romantic love that may come across your path. But unfortunately, that is the reading that I have for you today.
That was very helpful. Thank you.
I'm glad. Can you leave a review? And they pull out a notebook and they're like, I'm trying to get promoted to the next level of acolyte, and positive feedback is very important.
Chai is just at this point is like, fine, I'll leave a review. And it's just like, this person's reading was above accurate and did not bend the truth to try too hard to appease customer. I appreciate that.
Oh, good. They are like watching very closely as you write this memo, and when you get to the part where you're like, oh, this person, they jump in and they're just like, oh, actually, my name's Hana, like Hanali. Thank you. If you write this person, then it seems like I could have taken someone else's feedback, and I want it to be very clear that it was about me. Thank you. But yeah, you got your fortune read. Since you gave them a nice review, they do also say, also, 1 second, and they cast augury again on you. And they go, I sense that you are a very accomplished cleric in your own right, and that you might be, you should talk to, there's this thing going on. You should really, Tanith, you should go find Tanith. I can take you to Tanith. Do you have time? Are you an adventuring kind of cleric?
Yes, I have time, and I'm traveling with a companion. We can certainly talk and maybe help.
Wonderful.
We actually came We actually came into town to try and find the missing person, but it turns out that we were thankfully unneeded.
Good news, I have a different missing thing for you. Come on, let's go.
I have a different missing thing.
Sorry, normally Tanith...
Adara must be doubly glad she's not here.
God, right?
Well, I mean, this is a thing, not a person.
So as they're taking you over to kind of the back area, they're like, now that they're not in like customer service mode, they're definitely have opened up a fair amount, and they're just like, so Tanith normally comes out and talks to everyone themselves, but unfortunately they are not doing so well right now, so I have to bring you back there, so, you know, please don't touch anything, you know, you're a cleric, you get it, we just want to make sure that the back room is kept, like, you know, safe and all of that. But you get to see some nice little altars and stuff. There's our private altar. This is the side view of the big altar. Not many people get to see the side view because normally they're at the front. And here we are. Tanith, I found adventurers for you. Okay, bye. Gotta go back out front. You know how it is. And they leave.
So now, like, the gossipers were talking about earlier?
Yes, same name.
Possibly.
Yeah. So I probably overhear that since I was snooping around to see if Shy's reading like had any basis in reality. So
yeah.
Yes, and
but it's like,
just, like
Shy was actually impressed, especially considering the beginning that she didn't bend the truth.
You know, the sanctity of romantic love is important. Yeah, but yeah,
Vittori sneaks enough.
And actually, Shy is very relieved not to have much romantic love in her future.
Yay!
Yeah, that's fair. It'd be pretty awkward. But
It'd be
anyway,
very awkward.
You're at a back room that looks it's definitely like an office space. Shy, how much time have you spent in like kind of big temple settings?
Shy spent more time in archives and libraries than in temples.
Okay.
But has spent a fair amount of time.
Okay. So then you and Vittori, I think, are both kind of equally like this is definitely an office kind of room, which you know, up to you how surprised your characters are by that. But it's definitely not like the rest of the temple. This is clearly an administrative room that you are in. There is a desk, there are bookshelves, there's a lot of filing cabinets. And you see a middle-aged androgynous cleric with light brown skin wearing a knee brace, who is kind of in repose a little bit on one of those, like, they're called a fainting couch, but nobody has fainted here.
Right.
And they... yeah, a chaise. And they look up as you enter and go, "Oh, hello. Are your adventurers for... how much did Hana tell you?" Sorry, I would stand, but I'm having a rough day.
Just that there's some sort of missing item, and our assistant would be helpful.
Yes. How... You two look capable. I have a task that I have been given from Hanali herself, and unfortunately I'm not able to follow through, so I'm hoping that I can enlist your assistance. Have you heard of the Evergold? Either one of you can make...
I've heard of everything, haven't I?
That's true. You have heard of everything, but we're going to have you make the check anyway, just to see if you can remember in time.
That is a very good point.
So you can both make me a history or religion roll.
I'm going with religion because I don't have a bonus in history. That is an 18.
All right.
27 for history.
All right. So you have both heard of this. So Evergold has also been called the Fountain of Beauty, the Fountain of Youth, or the Fountain of Youth and Beauty. It is a large, right? It is a sacred crystal fountain, sacred to Hanali Selenil, that you, Shy, know, it is physically present in her realm in Arvandor on Arberia, like where the Elven Pantheon lives. So it's physically a real fountain, this fountain of youth and beauty, that is in her house, essentially.
Okay.
Seeing that you both have, like, expressions of recognition, they continue on, and they say, Evergold was stolen from my goddess.
Sorry, you cut out.
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, sorry. Evergold was stolen from my goddess.
Ooh. That sounds like a problem.
You steal
It
a
is.
fountain.
You know,
Wait. Was the fountain stolen? The water? Do they know how this took place?
Yeah, like, if it's a fountain, is it the fountain?
Did they
like,
bring
have,
it a
like
forklift?
a lake underneath that like it draws water from? Like,
the fountain
I
itself
guess
was
they
stolen.
might have like stolen the.
So, they say the fountain itself was stolen. We have all been unable to ascertain the details. We have learned enough to suspect the drow goddess Karansali. However, we don't know how she did it or what she intends to do with the fountain. Obviously, the fountain is very sacred to my goddess and is her rightful property, so we need help returning it before Karansali, who has a rocky relationship with the Pantheon, let's say, does something drastic and permanent to it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Can I do a religion check to see how much I know about Karansali?
Sure.
That is a 10, so I assume not much.
With a 10,
Which roll was this?
religion to see what you know about Karansali. Or to see how much Shai actively remembers at this moment about Karansali.
I'm making sure I have the right number. 25.
25. All right. So you, let's see. Vittori, you know that Karansali is a drow goddess. You know this because Tanith just said that.
They just told us. Yay!
That's about what you got. You're not super familiar with drow deities. This is like you've encountered Lolth stuff before, and with a 10, I'm not sure if Veyron rings a bell for you, but we did run into him.
You're like, wait.
Briefly.
It's like, wait, there are other drow goddesses other than Lolth?
Right? So, Shai, you know that Karansali was, or is, the drow goddess of revenge and undeath. And the reason she's the goddess of both of those things is because Lolth killed her, but she didn't stay dead.
Oh.
Okay. That's a lot of information packed into that.
Yeah. You rolled high, and you're a cleric.
And you know everything.
Yep. But yeah, so that is the information readily available to you.
Okay. Well, that provides us with some information.
If you, sorry.
I was just gonna ask, do we know where Karansali is?
Tanith, kind of, grimaces a little bit, and they say, unfortunately, she seems to be in Elegy, her city in the Abyss. We have priests who can send you there to retrieve Evergold, but it will be a perilous journey, and it is her city, so I don't know the details of it. Divination magic hasn't worked when we try to look at her or Evergold or the city itself. I'm afraid I'm not able to offer you much detailed information about it, other that I'm sure it is dangerous.
Yay. Alright. Zan, you also wanted to say something?
just kind of trying to calculate how we're going to get the fountain back.
Yeah.
I mean, do we focus on just taking the water? Do we what? We don't have a tank that could probably physically carry the fountain out of here, but
they kind of shrug a little bit at this, and they say, I know you are both capable because you haven't balked at my request thus far. I expect that you will be able to figure it out based on what you find when you arrive. My suspicion is that it was transported magically and therefore could be transported magically once again.
Okay. Because I was just imagine like the world's biggest tenses floating disc.
Yeah.
It's just top fountain is on top of that.
Shy at this point is just like, I don't like leaving anything to chance, but is also in her head kind of like trying to come up with options of like calling Slifnir and like having Slifnir drag like some sort of wheeled thing with the fountain on it, because we could probably get the fountain onto something that can be towed.
Yeah. Which is why I was thinking Tense is world's largest floating disc. A spell that neither of us have.
Right?
Yep, neither of us have that one. We do have other things, though.
Good thing there's a wizard in the party. Yeah. So, Shy, with a 27 religion, I'm going to say you also have heard of Elegy. You know that it is an undead city. So, it's Kiransali's home plane, essentially. It's her home fortress lair, as it were, and the city itself is alive, air quotes, in that it is itself undead, in a way.
Oh.
Or at least that's what the stories you've heard about it have said. How much of that is true?
Well, now I'm curious. I have to see this for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing is one thing, experiencing is another.
And Victoria's just like, I've been to the Abyss plenty of times.
The Abyss doesn't scare me.
What's another trip to the Abyss?
Right?
Let's go.
So Tanith asks you both if you feel you are appropriately equipped for this adventure. They are able to provide you with 5 potions of superior healing.
Ooh.
As well as a +1 weapon if anyone doesn't have one and wants one.
I would love some potions of superior healing. I do not want to almost die again.
I feel like this is really funny to me because I feel like if Adara's here, she would like ask this like first and foremost. But Vittori suddenly remembers, hey, is there any like reward of some sort for us helping you out besides from like, you know, the compensation with like the healing potions to make sure we stay alive?
They smile when you ask this and go, yes, the Church of Suni and we, the Church of Hanali Selenil, have banded together our treasury to provide a reward for, ideally, the return of Evergold unharmed. However,
right.
Let's see. Make me a persuasion check.
Okay. First I need to reply to Jess! Victoria's crossbow is a +2 already! She doesn't need another crossbow.
Just stop helping.
Persuasion. That is an 18.
18. Okay, yeah, they say, we have many magic items that we are able to give you as a reward. However, the reward will be scaled with the degree of success with which you meet the task. I expect you understand.
Gotcha. So, like, yes, of course. Like, this is an important artifact that, you know, that belongs to your deity. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, if we returned it, but it was, like, harmed in any way, I would understand if, you know, you would give us a lesser reward in that regard.
Yes, however, should you make it back here alive, we do intend to reward you at least somewhat, no matter what, because we do appreciate your efforts in this sensitive matter. Speaking of it being sensitive,
Thank you.
This is very time sensitive. We don't know what Kiransali is doing or how much time we have before Evergold is potentially damaged or taken forever. So I trust that you will treat this with the appropriate level of expediency.
Of course.
Thank you.
It's like, I believe, unless Vittori has something that we need to retrieve.
Nothing, no business.
Wonderful.
All right.
Then
You can go immediately.
you can go immediately. All right. So, with that, they grab a cane by their chaise and stand and walk you to the another side room that has a circle for teleporting, plane shifting, one of those. They have a circle that they can use to send you to Elegy. If you have any final preparations, make them now. Otherwise, we're jumping in.
Let's go.
Ooh.
All right. Do I have read aloud text, Jesse? Let's find out.
Shy and Vittori really is the get shit done without, like, much confrontation or, like, arguing.
Yeah, they're very
Yep.
like, okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, you both feel the familiar tug at this point of teleportation magics, and you are pulled from the material plane, sent back to the abyss. Vittori, it's familiar to you. Shy, you've been here also. But you both are in a new part of the abyss that neither one of you recognize. This place is decayed, is the first word that comes to mind. You can see a sprawling metropolis before you that was clearly once splendid and has fallen to ruin. It has marble, granite, and basalt walls, and it seems to be thrumming with activity. At an immediate glance, even from the distance you're at now, you can see that there are many, many creatures in this city, many of them humanoid-shaped, but from this distance, you're not sure what. And based on what you've heard, you can be reasonably confident that many, if not all of these, are undead.
Yeah, I figured.
Yep.
The city itself is vaguely conical shaped with a large palace at the top. It has
Interesting.
It has many slender, twisted spires that you can see even from this great distance, and heavy skull motif just everywhere. But the first obstacle in front of you... Sorry.
I was just saying, I am assuming that the well is in the spire thing at the top.
It's entirely possible. The first step...
It is entirely possible.
First step is getting into the city, which is ringed by heavy, tall walls, and also has a fairly robust front gate that people are going in and out of. How would you like to approach?
Vittori has a climbing speed, so I'm just like, what if she just climbed over the wall and just ended that way?
What if we use Windwalk? Well, the thing is, the
That's
only
true.
problem with Windwalk is we have to find a safe place inside to rematerialize.
That's true, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if it is a city, I'm assuming that all of these undead are, like, living their unlives, so, like, I'm sure, like, there's, like, a back alley or somewhere to rematerialize.
We can attempt it,
Yeah. I mean, like, Windwalk is definitely our best option, I think.
because I don't think we're going to, A, bluff our way past the front gate, or
Yeah, definitely.
B,
Also,
I'd rather not
maybe
fight...
Windwalk will help bypass some of the stuff inside, because we don't have to rematerialize immediately.
No, but it's like, the thing is, it would be kind of my priority to find a safe space to
Yeah,
rematerialize,
definitely.
because otherwise we can get hurt in Windwalk form. We just,
that's true.
it just is resistant to damage.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's easier to sneak though, which is nice.
Yeah.
So, Windwalk
Yeah.
turns you into a gaseous form, appearing as wisps of cloud.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna say that if you cast Windwalk, how far can you travel? Flying speed of 300 feet. Nice. And lasts for 1 minute.
Yum.
Okay, so with a 300-foot speed and a 1-minute casting time, Shy, you feel like you're going to have to sneak a little bit closer to the city, or, you know, get somehow closer to the city before you cast it so that you have a good chance of ending up at a decent distance on the other side of the wall with enough time for you to find a place to dematerialize.
Okay. So I say we try and sneak up as close as to the wall as we can so that we have a good amount of time to find a place.
Gwendy, what's the lighting situation of this general area? Because this is, you know, in the abyss. Is there any, like, light, or is it all in, like, shadows and stuff?
I'm so glad you asked. Elegy has eternal night. There is no sun here.
Tori is invisible, unless she's, like, near enough to Shy.
I mean, Shy can turn off her horns. That would be great, especially if we're sneaking.
Yeah, this is the only problem is, like, does Shy have an ability? Because I feel like, is Shy the only one that doesn't have, like, any form of blind sight or, like, witch sight?
No, but, I mean, she could just turn on her horns and see.
Yeah, that's true, and then there's Vittori. Yeah, that's true, okay. Yeah. So we can, Vittori is invisible, and that's probably for the best, just because, you know, Shy does have disadvantage on stealth, right? So, like, if at least only one of them will get caught if that fails. I can also cast Pass Without a Trace if we think we need it.
I think it would be a good idea to cast Pass Without a Trace in general, especially if we're trying to sneak as much as possible. Because it's an entire city of the undead. We don't want to full turn undead until we need to deal with swarms.
Okay, yeah. Vittori cast Pass Without a Trace, so now they have a +10 bonus to stealth.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And then Shy's gonna do Windwalk?
Yeah.
Yeah, once we get close enough, then we'll do Windwalk and sneak inside.
Alright, then I'm gonna say, make me stealth checks to sneak up closer to the wall. Vittori has advantage because she's invisible. You both have +10 because of Vittori.
That is a 27.
Nice.
I'll have a 27.
Actually, that's a 37. It's a 37 because
I have a 27. You have a 37.
Wow, how embarrassing for Shy. Yeah, the two of you are easily able to make it closer to the wall. You can see at this point that there are groups of undead that seem to be patrolling the tops of the walls as well as the outer barrier, but you have timed yourselves so that no group is particularly close, and you are able to, you think, cast your spell unimpeded.
Yay.
Going for it?
I'm going for it.
All right. I'm gonna say, make me a survival check.
Oh.
You know, I'm glad we have two ranges.
Interesting.
That's 15.
All right.
Survival, you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 20, non-natural.
20. All right. So, Shy, you cast Windwalk. The two of you are able to successfully, cloud-like, make your way. I think you do have to go over the thing still, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no holes in the wall. So you, as wisps of cloud, you make your way over, across, down, again, into the streets of Elegy. You are able to, thanks to Shy's keen eye for city streets, find an alley to duck into so that you can successfully...
Funny that Shy rolled higher on Vittori.
Right. Vittori, the urban ranger, like, now's my time to shine.
Rolls a 6 on the die.
Shy's just really used to finding street alcoves to duck into before somebody can, like, talk to her.
Also, yeah, that and also is more used to Windwalk than Vittori is.
Yeah. So, Shy, you're able to direct the two of you into a back alley as you feel yourselves recorporealize. And you are now beyond the walls of Elegy. The rest of the city remains in front of you. Now that you're here, I have read aloud. The city of Elegy is at once majestic and crumbling. It is replete with temples, libraries, crypts, cells, mausoleums, music halls, observatories, even the occasional administrative building. but has few accommodations for the living. The twisted spires of Kiransali's risen palace loom over it all. Your destination, though hopefully not your final one. How would you like...
That's not ominous at all.
Thanks, Jesse. You now can try to start making your way through the city.
Making my way downtown.
I say we stealth as long as possible.
Yeah, definitely. And pass without a trace lost an hour.
All right. So, let's see. I'm going to say the roads themselves in Elegy are not neatly laid out. Sneaking alone will not be enough to get you to the city without getting lost and turned around. So, in addition to stealthing, you're going to need some way to navigate. Either through magic or perhaps mundane means if either of you are particularly equipped to do that.
Ooh, interesting. Again, I realize that Vittori has locate creature and locate plants or animals, but does not have a locate object. Which maybe I should have taken.
Feel like Shy might take a little while to orient herself, but would be able to get the hang of direction.
Right, because you have the standard. Because are you a revised ranger or normal ranger? I forget.
Revised? She's like a dragon companion ranger.
I'm just. Oh yeah. Always.
Oh my god!
Like,
I could have. I just thought of the best idea. We could like toss Mistorius up in the air, and Mistorius could like flap their little wings and make like a sketch of the city.
Oh, we can have a map.
We could have a map.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to have Mistorius try and map the city?
Yes.
All right. Then do you have to do anything special to summon Mistorius, or just like take them out of a pocket?
Basically, Mistorius crawls out of one of Shy's books, and it takes more paper for their larger form, but he's just kind of like a pseudo dragon size at the moment, so she could easily toss him up in the air.
All right, then yeah, with a nice gentle granny shot up into the air, you send Mistorius flying. Can I have Mistorius make me an intelligence check to try and map the area? If Mistorius is proficient with cartographer's tools, you may use that.
Gosh, I really think Mistorius should be proficient with cartographer's tools. We will see. So, all right. So that is a 13.
All right. So Mistorius flies up and does a little bit of a loop, and then lands. And do they talk to you, or how do you think a map would manifest for Mistorius?
Mistorius's notes and things manifest as like ink on their body, for lack of a better term, but Mistorius can transfer anything from their body into a book and vice versa.
Nice.
Okay.
So the book that Mistorius came out of can like suddenly have like a sketchily drawn map.
Ooh, yeah. All right. So Mistorius flies up, does a loop, lands back down, and looks at you excitedly, and you open up your book to see what looks like a canonical Jess map of the nearest 4 blocks.
Yes!
So,
wow, I can't believe Mistorius was Jess all along.
We cracked the code. But it doesn't seem like they really got a good enough view to make a particularly big or usable map, but they were very excited about telling you what the next couple streets over look like.
I mean,
you better put this on your fridge.
Oh, I will.
This is art from your child.
Yes. Well, that's more information than we had before.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I say we try on our own, but if we get lost, we can always send Mysterious up again.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, then I'm gonna have
like.
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like since like the palace is in the distance, I feel like as long as we go near it, like, you know, towards it, then like I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You'll probably be fine. All right. So I'm going to have the two of you make me stealth checks, followed by a check to navigate. The adventure is saying intelligence. I feel like survival makes sense for rangers.
Yeah.
So those both work, but we need rolls for both for each of you.
Okay, so that is, so past that trace, and I'm still in, no, I still have my stealth bonus, so that is a 39.
Oh my god.
I got a natural 20 on
Hey.
stealth, so that's a 31.
We were made
Nice.
invisible.
And non-natural 20 for survival.
Oh yeah,
All right.
For survival, that would be, 24.
Nice. All right, yeah. So the two of you set out using the palace itself as a landmark, and you're going as slow because you're being very good at hiding. So you're able to duck into the shadows, just as different groups of... Yeah. It seems like most of the creatures that you're coming across really just kind of live here. Like, you're running less into active patrols and more just sort of undead going about their business. So, Shy, you recognize undead. You see some ghouls and some ghasts and some banshees, all just kind of...
a Minecraft ghast.
and a creeper, all just kind of out wandering, but you're able to duck away and make progress toward the palace. However, you come to an area that's more open. It seems to be what once was a plaza and has kind of crumbled. There's a half-formed statue where the top has fallen over. It's some sort of humanoid, probably, but is too weathered to really tell what it used to be. But this plaza definitely gives you both pause as not something that you'll be easily able to sneak through, as it's pretty wide open.
Excuse you, I'm still shadows.
Except for
Victoria.
How populated is this area?
Make me a perception check.
That would be 27.
27. This area is notably unpopulated. You've kind of been seeing various undead around as you've been traveling through the city, but there's nothing here except for you. However, with a 27, you can see that some of the rotting wooden buildings on the far side of the plaza seem to be shifting a bit.
Interesting.
Sort of expanding and contracting.
Oh,
can
like
I detect
breathing?
magic on the plaza?
You
and,
can
like,
absolutely.
The statue?
You can absolutely detect magic on the plaza.
What do I find?
What'd you get? Or I guess detect magic you just detect, right?
There's no roll, yeah.
Right. All right. Yeah. With detect magic, you detect an overwhelming, I mean, this is kind of everywhere. This entire city just reeks of necromancy. This area in particular,
figured.
yeah, this area in particular also transmutation. And the area itself seems like a more concentrated amount of magic. Like, it's definitely all around you, but it's especially in front of you.
Victoria's reaction to this is like, surely we can like go around the plaza and like, so we just avoid it altogether. Because this is a city. This isn't the only way we have to go.
God, I'm so curious about what those are, though. Can I swallow my curiosity and go around?
Roll to see if you can suppress your curiosity.
Can I toss Mysterious up and see if there's an easy way around?
Sure. How far can Mysterious travel from you?
Jess is making us take a short rest. Well, thanks.
Yes.
Wow.
What are we taking a short rest for?
Just
really?
They're
Do you
on
want
a time
us to
limit.
rest in one of those breathing houses?
It might be
Seriously?
friendly.
It might be friendly. Might be fun. I'm not sure exactly how far he can travel from me. He's not like a familiar. He's a ranger companion. So I'm guessing they can be separated, but I don't think Mysterious likes to be that far.
Okay.
Separation anxiety.
So I'd say
no.
like 60 feet, maybe?
Okay. Then yeah, I'm gonna say that if you want to give Mysterious a good toss to kind of get a sense of the area, you are gonna have to move up to it more.
Okay.
All right.
Hat time.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and
Hat
do that.
time.
Hat time.
Hat time. I'm busy.
I gotta make a roll and then do hat.
All right.
So, what kind of roll do I need to make?
So I'm gonna say, make me a. I'm open to input here. I think for trying to like subtly throw Mysterious into the air, the first thing that comes to mind for me is sleight of hand.
Okay.
You could also, you know, do stealth if you're trying to just go up to it all like quiet-like, so you're not noticed by anything that might be in the area.
Okay, both of the things that Shy is horrible at. Great.
I'm open to counter arguments. If you wanted to check out the area yourself instead of Mysterious, then it could be something like Religion or Arcana here to try and figure out what's going on with the plaza. But then you wouldn't.
I would love to do Arcana and try and figure out what's going on with the plaza, because
All right.
Shy's curious. Why are those buildings breathing?
All right.
Also, does Vittori's true sight... I guess, like, her true sight's only, like, 60 feet, so she probably isn't close enough to see if anything's up, actually. But she would like to, I guess. Like, if Shy is gonna go closer to the plaza, I would like to use my eyes.
Arcana's
Alright.
28.
All right. Vittori, you can make me a perception check. And then how close are the two of you getting to the plaza? Like, the buildings that Shy noticed were kind of on the far side. Are you going to enter, or are you trying to watch, like, from the street, or...?
I'm not gonna go enter any buildings. I just getting closer to see what the fuck is up. Like, I think Vittori's most interested in the statue, just because, you know, you know, it's a center point. Perception... that is a 16.
All right. Well, I've got good news and bad news. The good news is that you both are able to tell what's going on. The bad news is that as you go into the plaza to start investigating more closely to figure out what's going on, the buildings around you come to life in a way. And we're gonna...
Life?
To unlife. And we're gonna need to roll some initiative as the undead city has noticed living beings in its presence and is here to remedy that.
That actually, that's a good initiative roll for like once in my life. That is a 23.
23, all right. How
13.
13. All right.
See, Vittori was worried, you know, like she was worried about going into the plaza. So when the buildings start like coming to life, she was like, yeah, this is what I expected.
Yeah, I think you both kind of start to get closer to it. And Vittoria, you're like, what is with that statue? And you take just like one step too far into the plaza. So you see the ground itself. First, you see the rotting wooden buildings start to open like jagged teeth, and the ground itself begins to ripple as buildings around you shift and move and go to begin attacking. But, Vittori, you are first to react, as it seems like the city itself is going to hurt you. Unless you get it first.
Alright, so do we have an idea of like how many creatures we're up against?
Make me a religion check?
Oh, natural 20!
Nice! Alright, I'm gonna say that you've encountered a lot of undead in your time, and this has some vibes that remind you of undead, but it seems like one solid mass. It's less separate creatures and more just that the city itself is here to hurt you.
Lovely. So what happens if I Hunter's Mark? Do I Hunter's Mark the entire city is my question.
You can absolutely Hunter's Mark the city.
That's incredible,
Yeah.
alright.
This does not sound like a good time.
And then attack the city, I guess.
This does
Please do.
not seem like a good time to use turn undead.
You want city? What happened?
The entire city just gets up and walks away.
I cannot imagine the city trying to run. I don't want to imagine the city trying to run.
Okay, that's a 21 to hit.
You do hit the city. I'm a large like rock from the paved plaza area kind of shifts up to try and hit you, but first you get it with your crossbow, which is not this motion, but that's what I did.
I feel like because this is the entire city, Vittori's goal here is not to like kill the city, but to like any time it like I guess this is like self-defense really, like maybe like trying to get through the area without getting hurt in the process.
Yeah.
So you think like during this whole time like Vittori is like trying to run, but like towards the palace.
Right.
So damage. How badly do I hurt the city? Okay, so that's 18 plus 6. So that is 24.
All right.
Magical piercing against the city.
Anything else, Vittori?
Second attack. That is a 19. Does that hit?
19 hits.
Nice.
This time it's some wooden beams come crashing down.
That's 4 on the dice, so that would be 22 magical piercing.
How many?
22.
22. All right.
And then third attack is 24 to hit. I got my D8. No, rolled off the table. Where the fuck? Okay, there it is. That's 10, so 28 points of magical piercing.
28. All right.
Yeah. So
Good
Victoria's just like running across the plaza, like shooting away things that like come towards her as she like tries to like escape this area, I guess.
Good. Yeah, you watch as your attacks connect, and it does seem like the city is trying to kind of react and hit you back, but it's too slow every time.
You're too slow.
Good turn, Vittori. And you're gonna try and run through the plaza toward the palace, you said?
Yes.
All right, cool.
But also giving the statue a wide berth, just in case that's also going to attack.
Fair enough. Yeah, so the plaza is currently difficult terrain. So, it's gonna take you twice as long to get through. Unless you have a thing for that.
I need to look at that because does it count as like natural terrain? Because I think like as a ranger I like non-magical terrain is like free to like it doesn't affect me.
It's definitely magical.
Okay.
It also might be considered a creature rather than terrain, but it's just difficult to move through. Because it's trying to hurt you.
Yay.
But you still managed to make your way a third of the way into the plaza.
Nice.
Shy, it's your turn.
I'm
You watch-
debating.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is large, right? Like, there are a bunch of buildings and stuff.
Yeah. You would even go so far as to describe it as gargantuan.
With a big G.
I'm
capital
wondering if I can kind of, like, give it a bit of something else to worry about while we try and run.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about casting Dawn.
Ooh.
Mm.
And
oh no,
then...
that might fuck up all the undead that live here.
I know, but the thing is, the buildings are attacking us.
Yeah.
I kind of want something big that'll
The
be enough of a
buildings?
distraction for us to, you know, leave. You know, like a flash grenade, only
Sure.
larger and more damage.
Yeah.
So there we go. I'll need everyone within a 30-foot radius to make me a Constitution saving throw. Just as many as I can get within that radius.
All right, it's still one city, so I'm going to assume that you're avoiding Vittori.
Yes.
Cool. All right. What kind of save did you say it was?
Constitution.
Constitution. Wow. 8.
The city is not very constitution.
Yeah,
it is. I
the
didn't
city
roll
doesn't-
great.
Okay.
It's a hearty city.
Let me roll damage. Okay, so that would be... 29 points of radiant damage.
29 points of radiant damage. All right. Math. I should just do this on my phone like Jess does. We got to the bigger numbers.
And then I'm going to try and, like, dash in a direction while hopefully distracted. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not dash because I used my action, but you get the idea.
Yeah, move. So are you trying to
Moving.
follow? Are you trying to follow Vittoria, or are you intentionally like fanning out?
Following Vittori.
All right.
Because
It's
we
only for the
decided
best because, like, I'm shooting away things that are coming towards me. So if you're near me, then hopefully, like, you know, they will, like, there won't be anything near us because we're, you know, in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, Shy, you're able to, again, the terrain is difficult, but you're able to run up and meet Vittori because you have the same land speed as far as I'm aware.
I
Yeah.
think Vittori's 5 feet more because she's got 35 feet.
Well, half speed, you round down, so you got the same slow speed.
Yeah, it's true. But basically,
But yeah, so you are able to catch up to Vittori. Are you doing any bonus action, anything?
I don't... Well, you know what? Just in case, I'm gonna toss over one of those superior healing potions to Vittori, just in case.
Fair enough.
Good call.
Yeah, so you watch as this beam of dawn crests over the city, and you see many of the buildings that were reaching out to hit you just sort of like singe in the light. It almost sounds like a scream, but you know that it's just fast retreating wood. And it seems like you've landed a powerful hit, but it's still here, and now it's mad. So,
Oh, that backfired.
womp womp. Hey, Shy,
Wah, wah, wah.
can you make me a dexterity save?
Sure.
As some large stones and part of the, what's the word I want? Part of the statue are all going to kind of come together and try and trap you.
No.
Okay, so that's a non-natural 20.
Hey.
Cool. You dodge out of the way as all of these different parts of the city try and entomb you. But fortunately, you are able to nimbly step out of the way and remain free to leave. However, it is kind of after that initial pass of large objects attempt to grab you, another wave passes by, and Vittori, I need you to make me a dexterity save as a lamppost comes just right at your shins.
With my dexterity is a +10, so that is a dirty 20.
All right, you are able to jump over it, just like all those childhood games. You avoid being just straight up kneecapped by the city.
Nice.
And that is it from the city for now. So we're back up to Vittori. You're a third of the way through the plaza.
Right.
A heavily damaged city seems to still be trying to take you and Shy out.
From a flavor way, side, like, I still like the idea of, like, Vittori, like, shooting things away, but from a mechanical side, I'm like, what if I just spend my whole action doing the dash action just to, like, get through the plaza? Because I'm like, yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Going to be beneficial to us, or is it going to...
I mean, it's an entire city. I think we should do what damage we can, but try and get out of this area.
Yeah. I mean, at least we're making progress, so, like, even if we do, like, slow down and, like, attack the city, it won't slow us down that much. So I think I will, keep moving, but, you know, keep doing shoots.
Alright. Make me your attack rolls.
Okay, that is a 13. I assume that does not hit.
It does not. Your arrow tings off of some firm stone, but doesn't seem to get any purchase.
I am re-rolling that, and that is a 24.
That'll hit.
Ooh, I was gonna say got a 69, but no, I got 2 6s, so that's not nice. Wow. 30 magical piercing.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second attack is a 15, and I assume that does not hit.
15 misses, unfortunately.
Yay. So yeah, I just, like, you know, just shoot away one thing at least and keep moving. So I am 2/3 of the way through now.
Yeah.
Nice. One more turn and we'll be out.
One more turn and you're free. Shy, it's your turn. The city.
Okay.
It's hard to tell the health of a city, but it definitely seems far worse off than it was when you showed up.
And the thing is, I have Dawn still up, so it's going to take more damage.
Oh yeah, so I need to make another
greater...
con save now or at the end of your turn?
Yeah. Go ahead and make another con save now. Technically, it should have happened on its turn, but I'm just going to do it on my turn.
Fair enough. Well, 24.
24 makes the spell save, but it still takes half damage.
All right.
So, half of 27, so that'd be 13.
All right, let's see. All right. It's still here. What you doing?
Okay. I am running after Vittori. And should I summon my spiritual weapon?
It might be good for, like, you know, an extra thing to, like, bat away.
Yeah, an extra distraction. Yeah. I'm not gonna, like, bump it up, but I think an extra attacking thing would be nice. So, summon that, and we'll try and hit with a 21 to hit.
21 hits. Roll me damage.
Okay. Rolling damage. So that is 9 points of force damage.
9 damage. All right, Shy. How do you beat back the undead city as it attempts to overwhelm you and your friend?
God, with the book.
Yep.
You know what? I think I'm going to reprise one of Shy's earlier moves. She'll like just summon the book in her hand and just kind of like fling it at the building that was trying to entomb her before.
Nice.
And it just kind of hits dead on and goes right through,
Yeah.
which I was not expecting.
Yeah, you watch as some of
Yeah.
the large wooden beams that had looked like jagged teeth, your book just cuts clean through and they go flying down the
yeah.
street. And combat end. The plaza seems to have
Nice.
calmed down for the time being. The city is intact. This particular block isn't mad at you being here anymore. For now.
Oh, for now. We just kind of like, it just got cranky and like
Yeah.
swatted at us.
Yeah.
But now it's fine. Okay, let's move on from here before somebody notices us.
Yeah, just keep running. Well, now we know what places of the city to avoid, because...
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna have you both make me another stealth and also navigation of your choosing roll to try and get a little bit closer.
So that is a 38
Uh-huh.
for the stealth, and... For the survival, that is a 15.
All right.
21 for stealth and 24 for survival.
All right. So Vittori focusing more on ducking from shadow to shadow and remaining invisible. Shy focused a little more on trying to keep the actual palace like ahead.
Yeah.
You are
Together
able
we
to
make a team.
you are able to make your way deeper into the city. You find yourselves at what you might describe as the grounds of the Risen Palace. You're not at the front gate, but you, with some extremely skillful navigation and stealth from the two of you, you're able to duck around. You see there's, you know, some other things going on in the city. You watch as somebody who's definitely a lich is in some kind of shopping area having an auction. You see drow in the city as well. They don't... Hard to tell if they're undead or just regular dead. But they are, you know, up and moving. You also see more ghouls and ghast, as well as... I'm just telling you about all the random encounters you got to skip because you rolled really well. As well as some wraiths. All just living their lives, as it were. But you make it to the Risen Palace. You see, it is a glorious piece of architecture rising hundreds of feet into the festering abyssal skies. Its twisting, spiraling columns are improbably thin. Its broad walls bow outward like giant inverted ribs. The bone-white rooms are adorned with fountains of blood, hanging mosses that resemble wet black hair, and skull-shaped archways arrayed with clasped and crisscrossing hand shapes. As you kind of take it in, you see that there is a short line of drow who seem to be waiting to enter the palace. There's also pretty clearly guards around. And, you know, there might be other points of ingress through perhaps some gardens or some windows.
I mean, there has to be multiple side entrances.
Yeah, for sure.
A garden would be great.
Yeah, I'm interested in, like, going via the garden.
All right.
If we can find it.
Yeah, make me an investigation check to try and look for some places to enter. To see if you can find a garden specifically.
That is a 27.
All right. Vittori, you handily find a garden.
Yep, I did not help much with that. I will just say that much.
Shy, you just...
Okay.
Shy gets
so
too hung up in the
funny.
idea of like whether an undead city would have a garden, And, like, what does it mean to be undead?
Yes!
Be also undead?
Like, are the plants undead? Are there just not plants?
The garden is all mushrooms and fungi and plants that aren't technically dead or alive in the traditional sense.
Good.
Like,
yeah.
But I love it because, like, okay, Victoria does have a +12 on investigation because it's her specialty. But like, I love that the person that has higher intelligence did not do as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
The
Shy
one knows everything.
Shy, you're just like, you start brainstorming, you know, things that would be in an undead city's garden. Vittori,
Vittori finds it.
Yeah, Vittori actually finds the garden, and you are met with all of the things that you had theorized and more. It is...
Ooh.
The garden itself is... You might describe it as verdant if it were, you know, alive. Instead, it's thick and full...
2 Cs.
It's thick with 2 Cs, and it's full of things that are arranged in a garden-like fashion, but there are so many, like, organisms that you can't place, not without, you know, some pretty intense horticultural investigation. You definitely see things that you recognize as, like, mushrooms and weird fungi. You definitely see things that look like what once were trees but have been fully petrified. And you see things that kind of just seem like genuinely skeletons, but decorative. As well as...
Piranha plant have bone in it.
Why do piranha plant have bone in it? And the garden is currently unoccupied. If you would like to try and enter through the garden, we're going to have you do a series of skill checks.
Yes, please.
Yay.
Cool. The first one, I'm going to need you both to make a athletics check to try. The way through this garden is over a fence. So we're going to need you to climb the fence.
And I do it acrobatically.
Don't you worry, that comes next.
Okay.
I guess...
I want to see how this goes. I got a 7.
All right. What'd you get?
I got
Sorry, you cut out.
I got the same as Shy.
Oh no.
We both got 7.
All right. So you both, you're at the fence. You manage to get kind of your hands like around the bars. One of you has like one leg up to try and, you know, climb. And instead, before you can even kind of really get into it, 2 people round the corner, and you see, they don't have, you see 2 people who look very much like guards, both definitely drow, and they spot you immediately, and they're just like, stop, like, get out, get down from the fence, what are you doing, get out! How do you react?
Time to fight them, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say we fight them. I mean,
all right.
There's no way either of us is going to explain away why we were halfway up this fence.
All right. Then let's roll some initiative. So these 2 guards are going to try and keep you from breaking in.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right.
Dirty 20 here as well.
Oh. All right.
A time-sensitive mission. Neither of us have taken damage.
All right, I'm gonna roll
A short
them.
rest would do nothing for us.
Oh my god. All right. Sorry. Cool. So you both react what you think is like with appropriate speed, but you are still halfway up a fence. So before you can fully get, you know, sorted for combat with a natural 20, one of the guards runs up to you and is going to try and grapple you. Is going to try and grapple you, Vittori, and pull you off the fence. So this is going to be their athletics against your athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, I'm so glad that acrobatics is grapples. A 19.
All right. So they reach out to try and grab you around the middle and like pull you off the fence, but you are able to kind of move yourself out of the way just so that they can't quite get purchase.
Oh yeah, just like yeah.
And seeing that doesn't work, they are going to whistle to their partner, whom you see loading a hand crossbow, but it's not their turn yet. Instead, Vittori, it's your turn. You're hanging off this fence. There's one guy bothering you.
Crossbow.
Yeah. You gonna shoot the one point blank or the far one?
I think the far one, just because they've got a weapon out that can like also hit shy, so it's like like if the other person can only grapple, they're like they're at a disadvantage anyway. That is a 16.
16 unfortunately does not hit.
Okay, I'm re-rolling that. That is a 21.
That'll do it.
Okay, Hunter's Mark on that guy, and 7, so 7 plus 18 is 25. Magical piercing.
Alright.
And then the second attack is 26.
Hits.
Oh god, that's nearly minimum damage. That is a 21 points of magical piercing.
Alright. Wow, it's so hard for you to 21 being minimum.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so sad. It's a sad life. And a 17, does that hit?
17 misses, unfortunately.
Okay, so that is my turn.
Alright, with 2 crossbow bolts sticking out of the body, one of the drow looks alarmed, but before they can react and shoot you back, Shy, it's your turn.
Okay, well...
There's one guy...
One of our opponents has 2 crossbows in them. I think I need to close in on that one. And try and knock him out quickly.
Alright, the one that's over by you and Vittori will get an attack of opportunity if you're, like, running over there.
While he's grappling Vittori?
He did not successfully grapple Vittori.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you can always spiritual weapon or, like, sacred flame.
You also
True.
haven't taken damage yet.
I also have not taken damage yet. And I could just rebuttal if he manages to hit me.
True.
So let's go and do this.
Alright. Then this guy is gonna try and hit you. But I don't know if a 17 does it.
That does not hit.
Alright. You watch as a rapier that was hard to see until it caught the light, swings out at you, I guess stabs out at you and just kind of barely glances off some of your chain armor. Your iridescent chain armor that you have.
It's actually
it's scale now, right?
Scale. It's a leather scale.
Yeah, but it's still iridescent. I remember that from the art.
Still iridescent, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. And you are free to run over to the other one.
Yep, so running over to the other one, and I am going to do 2 attacks.
Alright.
So that is a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
And a 22 to hit.
22 also hits. Roll me some damage.
Rolling damage. So that's 8 points of damage and 7 points of damage.
Alright.
Plus, I can use my bonus action to summon my spiritual weapon.
Just like,
which I'm going to summon at a higher level because I want to try and take both of these people down pretty fast. So I'm going to summon it at level 4. And make an attack. On the same guy, that will be a 28 to hit.
That'll hit.
So that will be... 10 points of force damage.
10 points of force damage. Nice. Anything else? No, you did all your things.
I did all my things.
This drow is looking rough, but is still here and didn't care for that shit at all. So, Shy, you're up in his business now. We're gonna make an attack roll. You watch as this is an attack, right? Yeah. So you watch as his like the hand holding the crossbow kind of relaxes, and he reaches out with his other hand with magic covering his fingers. Proficiency. What is your attack? All right. Does a... What the hell do you cast spells with? Whatever, we'll see. Does a aggregate 20 hit?
That is my armor class. So,
all right.
Yes.
Then you are gonna take some damage, as I have cast Inflict Wounds on you at a pretty high level. I'm sorry to report.
And I'm going to rebuttal that in a minute.
Right. Yeah, fair enough.
I love the idea of casting Inflict Wounds when you're, like, point blank with someone, because that's just another way of saying I stabbed someone with a sword.
Yeah, but magically.
You know what? I just have to say something.
Sword.
Because I was about to do a rebuttal with no you, and instead my rebuttal sword went no you right back because I rolled 2 1s.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh, that's tragic. Alright, hang on. Second low. Okay. Give me a sec. So Shy. You're gonna take... What is this? 14? 7 is 21.
Yeah, you do have a natural 20 if you need it.
I do, but that was just... I couldn't not let that stand. That was
that's fair.
too perfect. Next time.
Alright, you're gonna take... I think I did this math right, but oh well if I didn't. You're gonna take 37 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Which I definitely could have rolled higher on. So that's good. And then they're going to use a bonus action to disengage and are going to move away from you, just further back down the way they came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna want to alert more people, and I don't want them to do that.
Yep, but before you can stop them, the other one's going. Vittori, you're here.
Hello.
This one's gonna try and hit you with his rapier again. For a 12. So, you know, we're still here. We're doing our thing. That's fine. Anyway, Vittori, it's your turn.
Alright. I'm just gonna continue to ignore the person who has, like, failed to, like, hit me, like, twice and just, like, shoot more crossbows at the person that's trying to run away.
Yeah, one of these is clearly more competent than the other.
Natural 20!
Oh my god! Fuck him up!
Okay, welcome back to remembering how to do maths. So, base damage is, 34. So, I have to add... And then I have to roll more damage. That's 9 plus 18, so 27 plus... 27 plus 34 is 61. So that is, yeah, shoot that damage off.
Yeah, 61.
Is this person still alive?
61? Absolutely not. You watch as your crossbow bolts just, like, get him right in the neck, and this one drops. Unless you were trying to keep them alive for some reason, I guess, but... Too late!
I feel like, Vittori did go into this, like, wanting to, like, non-lethally, but, like, at this point, like, you know, there's not much she can really do with her crossbows to make them non-lethal, and also, this is a city of undead, so maybe, you know, they won't be dead for long, you know?
Mm-hmm. Alright,
okay, so that's that.
I mean, I was just going to knock them out for other reasons, but, you know, that...
Nope, it's too late, they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
All right.
Vittori turns to the one that was trying to attack her, and she gives them a look that's like, this is gonna be you if you don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do an intimidation? Actually, I was gonna say maybe do intimidation, but like maybe that would just cause them to run off and get help.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
the thing. We don't want them alerting anyone.
So I am just gonna attack this second one.
All right.
That is a 24.
24 hits.
Ooh. 13 plus 18, so that would be a 31 points of magical piercing on the second one, and that will be my turn. Oh, actually,
First
I also
blood.
need to, like, use my bonus action to get up my animated shield. Because that hasn't been up, because that requires a bonus action, and I have too many uses for my bonus action.
Ah, yeah. All right. And Shy, it's your turn. There's one left over by Vittori, but the one that you were fighting has dropped dead from just dozens of crossbow bolts.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. I will go and attack the other one first with my spiritual weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can knock this one out, like, especially with this. I like the idea of knocking someone out with a book. Just
Knocking someone out with the book is just that good of an idea. That'll be a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Okay, so that's... 52. 13 points of force damage.
All right.
And Shy will close and do 2 attacks.
All right,
So that's
do it.
a non-natural 20 to hit,
The hits.
and 17 to hit.
17 unfortunately does not hit.
That is fine. First hit does 10 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be my turn.
All right. That means it's this Drow's turn. They can't do anything to get flanking now, so they're just gonna try and Shy, you hit them most recently. So they're gonna try and hit you back with a rapier.
Oh, please
They got
do.
it out. Oh, 27 to hit.
That does hit.
All right.
And I'm gonna rebuttal.
Cool. First, you're gonna take 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. That. And what is with these rolls with my rebuttal sword? I get
no.
advantage on this.
You have a
It's
crit
like
from
I-
chat.
I want to crit. I'm going to crit. I'm just
Alright.
gonna do it.
Crit me.
Because I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Oh no. That's just sad.
So. Yep. That will be a... So 10 plus... So 23 points of damage.
23 points of damage. Nice. You keep making it so that their HP becomes like the same 10s and 1s digit, which I just find very satisfying. All right. Yeah, that's... Well, no, we're smart. Bonus action, disengage, and then I'm leaving. So this drow moves 30 feet away from both of you. Not the way that the other one went, but the other option.
The other option.
Vittori, you're a ranged attacker. It's your turn. Your enemy is leaving.
Yeah. I can't let that happen.
Nope.
21.
21 hits.
Ooh. 11 plus 18 is 29.
29 points of damage.
Are they still up?
Well, I gotta do math for that first, so...
Fair.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Okay, I'm going to do a second attack and see if that changes things.
Alright.
That is a 22.
22 hits.
That's plus 18, so that would be 23 points of magical piercing.
All right, Vittori, how do you want to do this?
I'm just like yeah, we went into this combat like wanting to knock them out, but like I guess that's not an option anymore. So she just like whelp, and then she shoots this one in the neck just like with the other one, and like they kind of match now.
Oh no! All right, with matching crossbow bolt wounds, this drow also falls to the ground dead. But combat was fast. So fast that reinforcements don't show up.
So now we can hopefully get over the wall before anyone gets here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I did remember when we were rolling initiative, just like very belatedly, that Vittori does have a climbing speed. So like, would that help get her over the fence?
Yes, that would have. And that's something we're gonna revisit after we take a short break. The Toofs are gonna attempt to scale a wall. The Toots, and go through a garden where only nice things live.
Enemy yet.
Their greatest enemy yet. So everyone grab a stretch, grab some water, grab a bathroom break, and we'll be back here in 5. Bye. we're back. Hello, everyone. As a reminder, this is Threeflings. Today it's Tieflings, but that's fine. We are playing Vengeance Reborn by Jesse Heinig from Uncaged Goddesses. And our intrepid duo has found themselves outside a medium-sized fence that they're having trouble scaling.
Greatest enemy.
Their greatest enemy. Their attempts to scale the fence attracted some guards, but now the guards have been dealt with, and everything's fine again. So we return to the fence. I hear Vittoria has a climb speed she could have been using.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Now it's just Shy.
Yeah.
Who has to climb the fence.
I'm gonna say, Vittoria, since you have a climb speed, you could probably help Shy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Vittoria gets over the fence, or, like, gets to the top of the fence and, like, gives a hand out to Shy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I am not too proud to take that hand, so...
Hell yeah.
Good. All right, so then you can make your athletics check with advantage.
Yes, please. Okay. That gives me a 19.
Yay.
Yay! All right, because you are familiar with this fence, you are able to more easily pick your way over, and with Vittoria's help, the two of you manage to scale it. And we move to the next part, which is that this garden is full of dangerous things and is not safe to plow through willy-nilly.
Not safe for work.
Not safe for working. You're gonna have to pick your way very carefully through these plants. Delicately even. Perhaps acrobatically? So I would like you both to... Yeah, I would like you both to make me...
Could I make a case for survival?
Rangers.
Yeah, we're both rangers. Could we make a case for survival?
Also, because I am a higher level ranger than Shy, I will say that I have land stride. You can move past through magical plants without being slowed by them and without taking damage from them if they have thorn spines or a similar hazard. Does that help?
I don't know if that would help in this case because they aren't plants. Okay. They're undead. They're just plant-shaped. But I'll say that survival works here.
Okay.
Gives me a much better chance of doing this.
Survival is a +9, so that is a 25.
Alright.
That'll be an 18 for me.
Alright. I don't know how group checks work when it's an even number of people.
That's a good question.
It's fine. You pass. Why not? I'm the DM. My rules. Jess isn't here. She can't stop me. I'm in charge of the OBS.
Could we pass, but with a consequence if there was something that failed?
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so the two of you carefully pick your way through the plants, the undead plants. Vittori, you're going
tiptoe through the tulips.
You do. You tiptoe through the tulips, the undead piranha tulips that have bone in it. And you, Vittori, you're able to pick your way over to the wall where you see a door that will let you into the building. Shy, you're following behind Vittori, but you know she's invisible. So you're having trouble following her exact tracks, and you're so focused on trying to find like shadows of footsteps that you don't notice that she's lifted up a branch, and then has let it go behind her. So I'm gonna need you to make me a dexterity save.
Oh no!
Oh no, this is Vittoria's
That's a natural one.
Oh no. Okay. Cool. Then I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution save.
That's a 5.
Okay. So, Shy, you feel yourself smacked with a branch. You can tell from the shape that it's a branch, but physically it felt like petrified wood that kind of really it's much heavier than you were expecting. And when you kind of move it away from your face, it itches a lot. And you are hit with cenotaphic wasting. So you have gained a level of exhaustion, and you cannot remove that while this disease persists. You have
I
vulnerability.
can cure that disease, though.
Let me tell you what your status effect is first. Jeez. You have vulnerability to necrotic damage, and at the end of a long rest, it'll get worse. However, it does count as a disease. Yes.
I feel like Shy is just like, fascinating. This is a really interesting effects on my body anyway.
Yeah, you have encountered a brand new disease.
I have encountered a brand
new disease.
I'm going to make sure that I document the effects before I remove it.
All right.
Yeah,
so are you?
Shy just like sits down and just starts writing.
Are you getting rid of it now, or are you waiting for it to get worse so you can document those effects?
Unfortunately, I cannot wait, so I'll have to get rid of it now. So I'll document the immediate effects. But will this take a lesser or a greater restoration? I'm thinking greater.
Make me a medicine check.
Please.
Mental image of like, us like retrieving the well, or I mean the fountain, and then like Shy coming back to this garden later just to like get hit with a branch again and like get the disease.
Medicine's 26.
With a 26 on medicine, you think that normally lesser restoration would do it, but this is a necrotizing disease in the city of undead, helmed by the goddess of undeath. You might want a greater one just to be safe.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. So I'm going to use my prayer bead and use greater restoration to clear that up. And you know what? While I'm at it, I'm gonna drink a superior healing potion because I took some damage and I don't know if I'm going to need that help later.
Fair enough. But you do make it across after addressing all of that.
After getting hit in the face with a branch.
Getting hit in the face with a really poisoned branch.
Really poisonous branch.
Mm-hmm. And the two of you find...
Can we get to the door?
Yeah, the two of you find yourselves at a door.
Our greatest enemy.
Your second greatest enemy after fences. The door seems unlocked, though you will want to open it quietly. This is the stealth part of the skill check that you need to do in order to enter the building. So I'll need you...
Okay.
I'll need you both to make stealth checks to sneak in. Is Pass Without a Trace still up? It's like an hour.
It's an hour. Has it passed an hour?
I think by the time you finished navigating to the palace, I'm gonna say it's running out right about now. So
okay,
you can use it for this check.
This is like the last check.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a 31.
Nice.
Okay. That will be a 23.
23. All right. The both of you are able to slip inside. And you find yourself in a hallway. The interior of the palace is definitely aesthetically and architecturally reminiscent of the outside. The architecture itself is very gothic. Long, spindly things made of bone or stone to shape like bone to be shaped like bones. Lots of skulls, skeletal hands, kind of a ribcage motif around some of the hallways, and it's all very, very dilapidated. There's definitely a fair number of the fungi and the like from the garden have made their way inside the hallway here. And continue up and down the hall, as well as the walls and the ceiling. And you're free to begin to navigate as you look for Evergold.
Nice.
This is a very large palace, so I'm gonna have you both give me a stealth check to just kind of pass through as you look for things, and then is there any sort of Can you think of anything in particular that you would be looking for to try and narrow down your search, or do you just want to start trying doors?
Vittori's just in the mindset of, I feel like we'll know where the fountain is when we see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think hearing it would be easier, actually.
That's true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do have a question. Do you think it's worth doing a second pass out of trees?
I think it's worth it. We're inside a house right now. I would say there are probably people here.
Yeah. I'm just so worried about Shy's stealth disadvantage.
Well, it's like, she doesn't have a disadvantage per se, but does not have that much of an addition to the stealth rolls.
Because I was like worried that, because I was worried that like her armor was like one of the ones that give you disadvantage.
I mean, it was in the beginning,
Okay,
but wait, actually no, I don't think she ever had disadvantage on stealth.
Okay. Oh, I guess that was just a flavor thing of whenever Shy fails stealth, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
because she's not especially good at it, so it was just one of those things.
Yeah, the universe gives Shy disadvantage.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. So, 32.
Alright.
That'll be a 17.
Alright. Hey, Duraz.
Yes.
Can you roll me 1d6?
That's sus. 2.
2. Alright. So you are kind of checking around, looking or listening for signs of running water, a fountain.
Oh no, we're chasing waterfalls.
Oh no, don't go chasing waterfalls. You find, instead of a waterfall, a wardrobe. As you go up and down the hallways, filled with hanging cloaks, robes, gowns, corsets, boots, and sandals. If you would like to inspect, you can. Otherwise, we can continue on.
I'm gonna detect magic just in case, like, there's something, like,
magical clothing.
Here.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. You do detect magic.
Oh.
You detect... I guess I don't really know what aura this would be. Magical clothing aura.
I guess, can I tell from, like, the shape of the magic what this is?
Yeah, there's some sort of cloak, a magic cloak in here.
Okay. Vittori, like, Vittori's on her guard because she's like, this might be a mimic or something like that, but she, like, investigates this magic cloak and to see if it's anything interesting.
Yeah, do you, how are you trying to investigate it? Are you gonna, like, touch it? Are you gonna, like, just look at it with your eyeballs? Like...
I'm just gonna look at it with my eyeballs first, just in case it's an item I recognize.
Yeah, make me an investigation check. Or perception.
That is a 16.
16. Seems legit. You might actually recognize this? Let me check my character sheet real quick. I didn't think I was gonna have to need this today. Nope, not from me. You might recognize it from, Ophelia, but you've definitely found what looks like a magic cloak. I think Ophelia might have this.
I'm gonna take it just in case it's the cloak we don't have, and we're just, confusing it with all of the million magical cloaks that there are.
Shy can identify it later.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
You detect...
The cloak and just like, okay.
Let's see. That's all. That was the only magic thing in there.
Okay.
But you got a magic thing. Anyway, carrying on. Zan, please roll me a d6.
D6. Okay. 1.
1. This is fitting. Vittori, goes down a hall, finds a hall closet, and is just like, this cloak is for me. Shy, you continue on, and are just like, I don't need to look into other people's wardrobes. I'm here looking for information and clues and a fountain. And so what you find, almost instinctively, as though being guided by Ogma's hand, you find the library.
Oh, yes.
It's huge. This is an absolutely massive reference archive that you have found. Many of the books look to be in incredible states of decay.
Oh.
Yeah, but they are still there, and they seem to have pages. It's just that the outsides look very sad. It's 2 floors, and seems like it would take you a long time to, you know, spend if you wanted to peruse carefully, but you can certainly begin to poke around.
This is just where Shy is gonna be for the rest of the adventure.
Yeah, I know. It's like this is where Shy is until Vittori comes looking for her. But
So she goes, found the fountain.
Yeah, I will say that Shy can't help but look around.
Alright.
But we'll try to stop as soon as she finds 1, maybe 2 things really interesting that she can, like, carefully pack away to, like, look at later.
Alright. How about you give me a Arcana or History check to try and start poking around in this library for interesting things.
Okay. Why does it cock all the time? Okay, so that will be a 25.
25. All right.
For Arcana.
25 Arcana. You pretty quickly pick up, like, you're attempting to do a bit of a pass of, you know, the places that sort of seem most interesting to you as somebody who's very well versed in libraries. You're like, here's where they keep the good shit. And you realize, after looking at maybe 3 titles, that there's a pattern here. And then you keep looking, and you start seeing that every single book in this entire library is about alchemy. And with a 25, you actually find some pretty heavily annotated looking tomes. Like, they've got the classic fantasy post-its sticking out the corners, which obviously catches your eye because that's now a primary source if it's got notes in it. So you pull that out and start poking through, and you see some notes about the interactions between Evergold and poison.
Oh.
If you would like to, you can spend a little more time with these notes specifically to try and uncover details, but that's definitely like the surface level what you get from...
You know what? Someone gave me a natural 20 for investigating, so Shy's going to sit here and do some investigation on this.
Yeah. All right. Please do. We're gonna check in with Vittori real quick because that's gonna take you a little bit.
Hello.
So Vittori, are you, do you think you would meet back up with Shy, or are you gonna keep exploring separately?
I think Vittori is gonna, like, meet back with Shy just to, like, check in so that, like, Shy isn't being attacked or anything. But, like, the moment she sees that Shy is in the library, she just, like, gives Shy a thumbs up and then leaves again.
All right.
It's just like, I know where you're gonna be.
Yep. Cool. Then, Vittori, we're gonna have you roll me a d6.
3.
3. All right. Perhaps fittingly, you go into the library, you see that Shy's there, and you're like, all right, I'll keep looking. So you enter the adjoining museum.
Ooh.
You see a long hall filled with works of art, including paintings, statues, and glass cases with preserved specimens. So, if you would like to, you can spend some time perusing the museum to see if there are any clues here.
Yeah, I think Vittori will do, like, a casual peruse. Like, it's
Sure.
definitely not enough time to actually, like, you know, have the full museum experience.
Yeah. All right,
So
give
that's
me
investigation.
a history check for this one.
Oh no.
I
That's
know.
an 11. She does not have any bonuses.
Oh no. All right, yeah. With an 11, you're kind of perusing up and down, and you see a lot of art, but it's artistic representations of things, and you can't really, like, piece together, you know, oh, I recognize that these signifiers mean that is this person in the pantheon or
Right.
whatever. Or, like, you know, there's some old artifacts and preserved creatures and stuff, and you're just like, that's weird, and keep walking. So that's what you're up to.
Yeah.
Back to Shy. I'm going to have you make me another Arcana history, or if you're proficient in them, alchemist supplies. Check.
Is this the same as the natural 20, or...?
Oh, yeah, that was the natural 20. No, you use the natural 20 on this. We just got to lore dump you. Okay. Never mind.
All right.
I forgot. Thank you for keeping me honest. So, lore dump time. You find that these notes seem to have been written by Kuransali herself and are specifically studying the interactions of Evergold and its ability to neutralize poison. Because you got a natural 20, the poison in particular that she seems most interested in is that from a spider.
Oh.
Looks a loath.
Yeah,
Side-eyes loath.
Like, side-eyes loath.
Yeah,
I think I see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that does take you some time to piece together.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vittori, are you gonna keep exploring?
Yeah.
Cool.
We're exploring. Victoria just, like, looks around the museum. She doesn't, like, immediately see anything significant, and she's like, I don't know enough about art to glean anything more than this, so I think I'm just gonna move on.
Mm-hmm. All right, then we're gonna have you roll me a very important d6.
That's a 6.
6? All right. Good news, Vittori. You find the alchemical lab.
Ooh.
So, you can immediately tell that this place is full of experiments. It's got the classic, like, you know, beakers, pipettes, weird little tubey things. It's very robust in terms of, like, how many tools there are here. This is clearly a complex lab. And there's notes. But to understand the notes, we're going to need an intelligence check from you. Either alchemical supplies or poisoner's tools, if you're proficient in either of those.
I don't. This is gonna be, that is, actually, I'm gonna use my natural 20 on this, actually.
Sure.
Just to, like, to help with the lore dump.
Yeah, absolutely. So you look over these notes and, you know, they just, I don't know why you know this. It's like you took an elective in high school, like, once, where you were just like, poison's kind of interesting, I guess. And it just suddenly, like, blasts back into your brain. And you see notes that you also, with a nat 20, can piece together are from Kuransali. And they seem to be about a poison that is currently in her system. You get, that it is something that is, has been in her system for a long, long time and is on the daily causing her immense pain. You also see that she has plans to use another magic item you haven't heard of before in conjunction with Evergold, to create a possible antidote. The new magic item is called Hallowed Tear of the Martyred Redeemer.
Interesting name for a magic item.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you get.
Nice. I was assuming this is just gonna go back to Shy again.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, you go ahead and do that. Shy, I think you're probably wrapping up your notes at this point, or reading through the notes. So you were able to reconvene. And are you keeping this book, Shy? Or are you gonna put it back? Are you keeping other books? Are you gonna try and steal books?
I kind of want to steal other books. But I probably...
Just steals the entire library.
Mm-hmm.
No, I won't steal the books. But
you can try to steal the books.
I have taken copious notes. I have copied pages of things, and I am very proud of what I managed to get away with. It's like I was copying, and Mystorious was taking notes as well.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think Vittori wouldn't copy notes, but would when they meet up again, Vittori would tell Shy about the alchemy lab so that Shy can take notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to at least take a look at the notes in the alchemy lab and see if I can piece together exactly what's going on and try and predict the outcome of these experiments.
Ooh, yeah. All right, I'm going to say the two of you need to both give me stealth checks first because you've been poking around for a while.
That's fair.
Oh, yeah.
And then depending on how that goes, we will...
Well, that's a 39. So...
All right, so Vittori's
I got
not
a
here.
natural 20.
Nice, all right. Yeah, the two of you...
We've never been here, I don't know what you're talking about.
The two of you, hear some footsteps going by, but are able to kind of duck behind some book stacks in the library, and it seems like they just, carry on unnoticing, and you continue to be in the clear as you sneak around the palace. Vittori, are you bringing Shy to the notes, or are you bringing the notes to Shy, or...?
I'm bringing Shy to the notes, just because also the alchemy lab might be of interest to Shy.
Context is important.
Yeah, also that.
All right. So the two of you make your way back to the alchemy lab. Shy, you witness it for the first time. Like Vittori saw, it is a very robust alchemical lab with a lot of equipments, especially, a lot of things that would be useful for creating poisons. And you read the notes. I'm going to have you make me an Arcana check to try and review Kiransali's notes and see if you think you agree with her takeaways.
Thesis.
Her thesis.
Yeah, this is peer review now.
Yeah.
That will be 27.
27. All right. So Shy, you, this goddess, whose domains include Arcana, you feel pretty good about the research that she's done. It seems legit. It seems on the up and up. Notably, there's nothing about what will happen to Evergold after. With a 27, you don't think that the procedure she's describing is inherently, perilous to Evergold, but there's very little research into, what might happen to it.
Okay.
But her plan to combine Hallowed Tear of the Martyred Redeemer in conjunction with Evergold to create an antidote, it's not sending up any red flags for you, oh, this will obviously not work, or this will obviously destroy both the items. It's just sort of unclear at this point.
Okay. I'm inclined to let the experiment go forward as long as we can take the Evergold back afterwards. So
yeah, also, the thing with scientific theory, and I guess this isn't a Vittori thing, this is just a Draz thing, is that, you don't know! It's all about, fucking around and finding out, and recording
exactly.
it, and recording it.
Exactly, and the thing is, we know that Shy will destroy her own health and sanity in order to gain more knowledge. So why wouldn't she let this experiment go through?
Yeah.
Exactly. Alright. So, with a more comprehensive understanding of what you think is going on, you set out once again to try and find Evergold, because you are on a time limit, and you just spent a fair amount of time in the library. So, I'm gonna have you both make me a investigation check to try and pinpoint where Evergold is at this point, because you've traveled a fair amount of the palace, hitting all these major rooms. They're not just all literally in a row. So you've started to kind of narrow down where you haven't been yet.
I got a 17.
All right.
I got a 22.
All right. Yeah, so the two of you kind of realize that you've mostly been in one wing of the palace that definitely seems to be more public facing as it were. Right. And it seems like, given what you know about Curanceli's plans with Evergold and the hallowed tear of the martyred Redeemer, it is likely that this is more of a private chambers kind of project. So with that in mind, you set out and you go up and up to where you think her chambers might be. You...
And you find her.
You do. First, you notice a blue glow from down the hall as you ascend a grand staircase. You hear then the faint sound of water that gets louder and louder as you approach. What you see are... You're still sneaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll over your stealth checks from earlier because those are wild. So you see a massive chamber containing a bathing pool, vaulted ceilings, and an unearthly glow. There is an 80-foot diameter fountain with ornate pillars at the center of the pool that takes up the majority of the space. This room is also occupied by a drow woman in a bathing gown, as well as 2 more drow attendees, and one who doesn't seem as obviously drow, seems more undead. They are currently preoccupied and seem to be preparing the bath, as it were. So they don't immediately notice you. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm glad that she's in a bathing gown, because I was worried for a second that we would just, like, walk in on
it's
her
like,
naked.
please let us not walk in on naked people. That is
Fun Curancely fact, her canonical design is a nude woman, but she has a veil. So, yay.
Modesty veil.
Modesty veil.
Wait. Why? That is such an unusual fashion choice.
For reasons.
Okay.
See, I think Vittori's instinct would be to, like, enter but, like, hide in a corner. But also, I think she's kind of conflicted because, like, hiding in a corner of someone, in a place where someone's bathing is also
It's intrusive. Like, Shy just kind of wants to, like, take both of them, like, and, like, step back outside of the room, and then find a door or wall to knock on to announce our presence, because this is a bathing chamber.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That is true.
It's like we're not actually... We did kill 2 guards, but we're not actually here to hurt people if we don't have to.
Yeah.
Maybe we can negotiate.
Yeah.
All right. So you back up a little bit and just do like the knock knock.
Yep.
You see the four beings in front of you immediately turn around and look at you, and it is immediately and very apparent that the woman in the bathing gown is Curancely.
Wow, I would never have guessed.
She is hard to look at directly, because she is, you know, a goddess on her home plane. She does not look mortal, but in a way that is difficult to describe. But you just kind of, both of you, especially Shy, are kind of hit with a, like, comprehensive inner understanding that, like, this is a being that is beyond you, in a way that you've only ever felt when directly interacting with a god before.
So Shar.
Yeah, so Shar. And Ariel, were you both there for Ariel? Someone was there for Ariel, right?
Yes, Ariel was there.
I was there for... Yeah. Well, the second time Ariel showed up.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Yes?
Point being. Point being, you felt this feeling before. Yeah. Point being, you felt this feeling before, and every time it's just like the pit of your stomach just drops. As you kind of have that mortal reaction to something that is just like fundamentally beyond you. And she... her stance is immediately wary. This is not the confidence that you've come to expect from a lot of other goddesses. She reacts a bit defensively, and you see her like tighten the bathrobe around her.
Understandably.
Yeah, and I almost thought it would be very funny here to be like, she's a drow, so she's from down under. But then I didn't want to do that to any of us. So, we're gonna spare everyone.
Do that to me.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna do that to you. So instead, she just turns and looks at you, and says, "Who are you? How did you get in?"
So, here's the thing. That fountain doesn't belong to you. We were kind of sent to retrieve it, but during our investigation, we're kind of inclined to let you borrow it as long as we can take it back.
God damn it, Jess.
Alright. Jess gave me a crit, but only if I do the accent, so noted. So, make me a persuasion check. Shy.
Alright, do you want to help me with this? Because I could probably use some help.
Yes, I would like to help. In what way do you think you want the help? Just like, do you want the help to be like talking and like backing you up? Or I
kind of think both of us standing there, like kind of shuffling our feet, being a bit embarrassed by being in this person's private bathing chamber. I think that would kind of help our case.
Yeah. Okay, so just roll advantage, I guess.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Hey!
Nice. All right, good. So you successfully indicate that you mean her no harm. And what specifically did you say about Evergold?
We said that Shy was just like, okay, we were sent to take it back because it doesn't belong to you, but kind of inclined to let you borrow it from what we found for the experiment, if you just let us take it back afterwards.
Yeah, we're, happy for you to go through with the experiment, like, if that will help you and, the poison that's affecting you.
You see her posture relax at this, and she says, well, I don't care what happens to it once I'm done with it, so sure, you can wait outside.
Okay. Leave.
Fair enough. We are just really uncomfortable here anyway. We could just step out of the room.
Actually, never mind. I'm retracting that statement because I read the adventure. She doesn't tell you to wait outside. She tells her attendants to watch you. Oh,
okay.
Understandably is, I don't know how you got into my house, but you're under supervision now. So.
Also fair.
Yeah. And then you can actually, see what happens because you're in the room still because they won't let you leave because they don't know how you got here.
Yep.
So, she directs her attendants, 2 of them come over to you. They both look like drow guards, like the ones that you killed outside. But the undead-looking one stays with her. And she begins her preparations with what you can see is a vial that seems to be holding a sparkling liquid inside. Do either of you want to do anything? Do you just hanging out and watching?
Yeah, we're just vibing.
Oh, Shy's avidly watching to see reactions. I have to assume that the vial is the tear, and there's bound to be some sort of reaction with these powerful magic items interacting.
Yeah, alright. Then she... Yeah, give me an Arcana check to try and follow what's going along. You have advantage because you understood her notes.
Oh, yes. Good.
Victoria's just, watching on, but, knowing that, most of this is gonna go over her head.
That'll be 31.
Alright, nice. Victoria, are you watching, the ritual, or are you watching, the attendance, or just kind of around in the room? Do you want to give me an Arcana check to try and... Okay, so perception, then, for you.
Yeah. That will be 16.
All right. So with the 16, Vittori, you can see on Evergold that it seems to be like it's got 4 kind of anchors around it that look like they were tied in swatches of black shimmering cloth that just sort of catch your eye as something magical that also doesn't really match the aesthetic of the fountain.
Right. And, like, I think, like, Vittori's, like, first thought with that is that, oh, those are the things that are, like, that will help, like, that's how she transported the fountain here, and maybe, like, removing those will, like, cause the fountain to yeet back to where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
That is her initial thought.
It's a reasonable line of thought to have. Shy, you watch this ritual very carefully, and you can see that Kiransali is definitely an adept magician. She is casting innumerable 9th level spells that she's casting them so quickly it's hard to track them. But you can see that she is manipulating the tear. She takes it out of the vial and is doing some kind of like series of divination spells on it, and then casting a just ritual with it and integrating it with Evergold. And you watch as the water itself kind of takes on that same magical glow that the tear itself had before. And if nobody stops her, she walks into the glowing pool. And both of you make me an insight check.
Ooh. Have we not done an insight check like this whole time on someone?
It's because you don't have Adara. Your training has completely
21.
left you.
Like,
21?
Shy and Vittori do insight check a lot.
31.
Today we
31.
haven't really been. I got a 23.
23, all right. Shy picks up on it first, but Vittori, you notice it as well after a couple more beats. When Kiransali went into the pool, she like dropped her robe and walked in, and you kind of didn't notice it until it was gone, but there was tension just in every muscle in her body that then relaxes as she finally just sighs. And seems, you know, more at peace in her own skin.
Nice.
She walks deeper and deeper into the bath until she is fully submerged, and remains in there for several moments, and then in a flash is teleported out and stands by the pool again, dons her bathrobe once more, and turns to look at all of you, or the both of you, and says, "If you do not wish to incur the wrath of the goddess of vengeance, you should leave now. I will dismiss Evergold. I will dismiss it, and it will return.
Of course.
My work with it is done. I don't know how you got in here. I recommend that you don't do it again."
That's fair.
Have I
Fair
made
enough.
myself clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything either of you wants to do before she just bamps you back to the material plane?
No, I think I'm ready to be bamped.
Great.
I'm just thinking about how different this could have gone if, like,
Well-
Adara was here.
Yeah,
Adara
it's,
just
it's like
like,
at this point, I'm just hoping that we get out before they discover those guards are dead.
Yeah.
Because I think that might color things a little bit differently.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Then she goes, what does she say? She says, "I will remember you. And you both rolled high enough on your insight that you can tell that is equal parts threat and compliment."
Yep.
Nice.
And then
A
You are-
telltale game, like...
Kiransali will remember this.
Upset.
Yeah, and like that, you are back at the material plane, back in the office that you had departed from. Vittori, I'm gonna say, even though you're inside as an urban ranger, you can instinctively tell that it is night here now, and much more time has passed outside than you would have expected from inside the abyss. Like, it is the following night kind of thing. You feel very hungry all of a sudden.
Oh god.
Oh.
And
also, I feel like this makes sense for Vittori to notice just because she's all like shadows and shit.
yeah, so you can just kind of tell that, like, oh, if I went outside, I could still be invisible. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tanith is there in the office. They are reclining, or they're kind of napping in that same couch, but they jerk awake when you arrive. And they go, "Oh, you've returned!"
Yeah, apparently Karantzli has returned the Evergold. We haven't been to Arborea, so I haven't seen it for myself, but apparently it's back now. If, Karantzli is true to her word.
I can confirm that. One moment, please. And they just kind of, like, rub sleep out of their eyes, and then cast Commune with Hanali.
It's on a Discord call.
Gets on a Discord call with their deity. Yeah, I don't remember if a roll has to happen, but I rolled and it goes through. So they cast Commune, and you see their eyes kind of, like, from behind closed lids glow for a moment as they do their ritual hand signals to make the thing happen. And they go, "It has returned. I'm surprised that she returned it willingly. That isn't where I thought that was going to go. But nevertheless, thank you for..."
Yeah, it turns out she had a poison in her body that was, like, taking a toll on her for, like, years and years, and all she wanted the Evergold was, like, an alchemic experiment to, like, neutralize the poison inside her.
Oh, Lolth.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hanali will want to know about this. Is there anything else you learned from your time there that you could share with us?
That was definitely the big thing, and, like, the fact that she let us go willingly, so I feel like, I really feel like, I guess, relationships with, between deities is complicated, but it really felt like, she could have, like, they could have been, like, the deities, like, communicating to, like, hey, I would, can I borrow this for a bit?
I feel like she.
Like, I feel like that wasn't really, like, obviously, like, deity stuff is complicated and, very much not my lane. I'm not a cleric, but it's definitely a situation where I feel like if the relationship with the deities was better, then it could have just been the Evergold could have gone willingly instead of, like, she needing to resort to stealing it.
I feel like she's one that felt like she could not ask for help, so she took it instead.
Yes, I am glad that that Evergold was able to be returned safely, but that is definitely not how any of us, the gods included, thought that would go if she was left to do a ritual on it. But that's great. That's hold please. And you watch them. They get. It seems like a reverse commune. They're communing again, but they didn't initiate it this time.
A second Discord call.
Right. Hold on, my mom's calling me. And they go. The gods have, as a gesture of gratitude, invited you to our Vandor. For an evening. This is an incredible honor. Obviously you'll accept.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Obviously.
We'll have to make preparations now. Do you have nicer clothes to wear? It's fine if you don't. You can. I'm sure they'll understand. We'll get you ready. And that's where we're gonna call it for tonight.
Okay, we're going to a party.
Shy and Vittori are whisked off to an evening with the gods. Do you want to hear how that goes?
Idara is going to be so jealous.
Right. If you want to hear how that goes, check out our Patreon behind the scenes. But that's it for Vengeance Reborn by Jesse Heinig. Tune in next week where we'll be back with your regularly scheduled DM. So if you didn't like that I don't know how to do accents, good news, Jess does, and she'll be back.
But not Australian. She also cannot do an Australian accent.
That's fair. But before we sign off, stick around. We might do a raid if somebody sends me a channel in time. But let's meet these wonderful players, starting with Zan. Tell us who you are when you're not a tiefling.
Hello, I'm Zan Larson, also known as Pale White Rabbit on Twitter and Instagram, and I do a lot of art things. In fact, if you're near Indianapolis, I'm going to be at PopCon all weekend. So I will be selling art prints and things like that.
Nice. And Draz, tell us who you are when you're not a tiefling.
Oh, I'm Draz. You can find me on Twitter at Brazilian. Currently, I am in a few bundles. The big one, or the one that me and Jess have games in, is the TCG RPGs for Reproductive Rights. But also, recently, the Queer Games bundle for this year has just come out. It's a bundle of games from queer developers, and all profits from the bundle go split evenly between all of the queer developers in the bundle. So by buying the bundle, you support a lot of people, including me. So yeah.
Nice. And I'm GwenDB all over the internet, and you can find me mostly on Twitter, where I post illustrations. Because I'm an illustrator, I was co-project lead for Uncaged Goddesses, and I did the cover art, and I got interior art all over the book. So check it out if you like pretty pictures and cool adventures. Jess in the chat, Angry Nerd Girl, is the regular keeper of the Threeflings Reigns, so she'll be back next week for Dancing with the Fury by Dylan Ramsey. So if you want to see the Threefs...
Jimmy Buck's dancing!
If you want to see the Threefs, go to Eberron. Join us next week. Until then, I have been your host, and I forgot to get someone to send me a channel to raid, so we're just going to call it here. Have a wonderful night. We love you so much, and we'll see you later. Bye.